Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Microsoft Pulse. It's the Casa TamTom show today. Both Jennifer and Adam are out attending to customers, so we're bringing you what's new on the roadmap. Now, the roadmap is divided up into different sections. We have in development, which means Microsoft is working on the feature. We have rolling out, meaning it is completed and it's starting to go out to all the tenants. And then launched, which means you should see it, it should be there. Then we also have canceled, meaning that Microsoft has decided to move something down the road or to cancel it altogether. So let's go ahead and get started. Tom, why don't you kick us off with what's new in development?
Sure. So a couple things right up at the top of the list here. One is for Outlook iOS navigation changes. So Outlook for iOS is making it easier to find your contacts, files, and more. A new customizable navigation bar at the bottom of Outlook is your destination for mail, calendar feed, contacts, and files in whatever order works best for you. The floating action button also gets an update to make creating new items even easier. So if you're a person who does a lot of stuff with Outlook iOS, be looking for that in March of 2023. And then the other one, Microsoft Teams, targeted in-meeting notifications. So send in-meeting notifications to specific people in a meeting via a bot. Now, I'm not quite sure how this would work and why you'd want to do it, but it's coming to you in February. So that'll be to GCC and worldwide. So keep an eye open for that if you wanted to, ping people via bot in the middle of a meeting, but not ping everybody. Sounds like you'll be able to do something along those lines.
Great. In Outlook, there's bookable time. So from Outlook, you can create bookable time that can be shared with people to book a time with you. This complements the work of bookings with me. So that's due out in the end of January of this year, coming to worldwide. And then we also have in Outlook the desktop accessibility ribbon. So this is adding new accessibility ribbon tab to make it easier for authors to make their messages more accessible. Now, all tools you need to make your message accessible together in one place, so you don't need to go and find them. I think this is great because all the work that we should do should be available for those who should see it, or for those who should be able to consume it. Let's not say see it, but for those who should be able to consume it, it should be consumable,
That,
regardless of people's ability.
yeah, that makes really good sense. I mean, for those of us who do not live and should live in the world of making things accessible, a lot of times it's hard to remember that, or it's hard to find where I go find what things could be changed or need to be changed. Having that all in one place will help dramatically in trying to get better accessibility for what I do. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Right? Did you have anything else in development that you wanted to touch on?
No, you pretty much covered the two that I also had pinged, so we'll go ahead and move on.
All right. Then let's go to rolling out. Tom, why don't you kick us off in rolling out?
Sure. One that I've been looking forward to for a long time, and apparently it is now on its way out to all, well, worldwide clients, but yay anyway. Outlook, Loop components in Mail. Loop components are live interactive objects that you can embed across Microsoft 365 canvases, such as chats and email, to provide real-time collaboration. This feature brings support for Loop components in the email message. So to date, it's pretty much only been available in Teams, in chats, and things like that. Um, but I think getting it in email starts to really ramp up the use cases for Loop, because now you could put a Loop component, say it's a table or bulleted list or something like that, in a chat and in an email. You can send it to one group of people via email, another group of people via chat. And as those two separate audiences are interacting with it and adding things and changing things, each group is going to see what the other group is doing, because loops are basically a collaborative little widget component. Um, within chats, it was fine. I think getting it out in email, though, that really starts to bring into the allowing people to get input from others, regardless of where they may not be working. So email, chat, anything like that. I think this is really going to ramp up the adoption of Loop and make it something that you see much more frequently. And then one more, which is a little just, hey, it's there. I kind of thought it was going to be done a long time ago, but apparently not. Paging on video gallery. If you're in a gallery view and there are more videos than what can be shown at once on the page, the maximum number depends on your device configuration, internet bandwidth. Navigation controls will appear below the video gallery to see additional videos of the attendees. You can use these controls to view more participants. So if it's something where you have a large meeting and there's 87 people who are all sharing their video, God forbid, you'll now be able to scroll up and down and be able to see other videos instead of just the first 49 that it will show you in the 7x7 configuration.
Great. All right, Microsoft Teams, express yourself in team meetings for the Department of Defense. So this has been a long time coming. This just adds the emoticons select emoticons to Teams meetings so that you can show applause, you can show a thumbs up. It's all positive reactions that you can have, mind you. But that should be rolling out this month. So that'll be great, especially if you want to emphasize or reward a briefer with immediate comments on their content. So I find that very useful. And then also we have coming out to the DoD is automatic viewing up to 49 videos in a team meeting for GCC High and DoD. So that's coming out. The Microsoft Teams meeting currently supports a maximum of 9 videos, 3x3 on the screen by default. And for seeing more than 9 videos, the user needs to manually select the large gallery view with this update. So users will be able to automatically see up to 49 videos on their screen by default without an explicit action. The actual number of videos seen by a user will depend on the hardware device capabilities. I can see this really tanking meetings and turning smooth PowerPoint presentations into real choppy slideshows. Luckily, the customers that I work with don't use video. So should not affect us, but that's going to be available in GCC High and the DoD. And then one.
Go ahead, take it. You know you want to.
Which? Go ahead.
Support for co-organizer.
Go ahead. That wasn't the one I was going to take.
Okay. Microsoft Teams support for co-organizer to manage breakout rooms. Co-organizers will be able to create, manage, and move between breakout rooms like meeting organizers. This has been long requested, long begged for, and it's finally rolling out. And it's going to everybody, GCC, GCC High, DoD, and worldwide. The other one that I was going to mention was Microsoft Teams notification granularity. Admins can use Intune to determine the types of content a user can see in a notification on their mobile lock screen. I think this is really cool. It would have been nice if you could have configured it yourself, but you may have a policy that says, hey, with the notifications that come out of Teams, I want you to be able to see that a notification occurred, but I don't want any content appearing on your lock screen because it could be divulging company secrets in 49 characters or less. But the fact that they can now say, okay, we can restrict some of the kinds of content that you're going to see, I think is a really good move. So looking forward to seeing that one come out.
Yeah, that's certainly going to reduce the spillage of information that should not be
exactly
there for everybody. The last thing I wanted to touch on rolling out is Microsoft Project Grid Conditional Coloring. So conditional coloring allows one to configure rules on various project fields to visually highlight patterns in the project data. Anytime you can add color coding to anything, I get really excited.
She does.
This is for coding. I color
She's
code my
got
calendar. I color code my
she's got
email.
colored pencils in her room. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got different color pens for different customers. See? So anyway, Tom, do you want to take us into launch?
I can do that. I'll take a couple from Microsoft Forms here. So Microsoft Forms, multiple question poll in Teams meetings. So Microsoft Forms will allow multiple questions in one poll for Polls app. This feature will help meeting presenters ask multiple questions in a single poll with a single launch to improve the meeting efficiency and better engage with attendees, which makes a whole lot of sense because sometimes the polls you want to take isn't just, how do you like your pizza? Blah, blah. But you may want to follow up with a second question, but you really don't want to have to do a whole completely separate poll to do that. This will enable you to do it all in one, and you'll be getting that in GCC High and Worldwide. The other one is support image in polls. So you can now add images to questions in polls. Images from a local file can be used to increase engagement and better explain your questions to attendees. So again, picture's worth 1,000 words. 1,000-word poll would be very cumbersome. So the fact that you can now put images in there, I think will make in some situations a much clearer thing, especially if you were like, what logo do you think would work best here? Well, it's kind of hard to explain in words, but if you can put images in there, that makes a whole lot of difference. So that's
the
coming out.
images are for the question only, not for answers.
True, but keep in mind that outside of that in Forms, you do have a new option now that enables you to do images as answers.
What?
So eventually, yeah, you may get to the point where eventually you can do that in polls. But yeah, in Microsoft Forms, you could sit here and say, hey, which logo do you like? And then in option A, you put one, option B, you put another, option 3, you put C,
When
whatever.
did that come out?
It's relatively recent, in the last 2 or 3 months, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
missed
played with
that.
it yet, but yeah, that's kind of a cool one, especially if you're doing something that you want input on some visual aspect. You can now do that in Forms. So eventually, I
Oh,
would assume it would get to polls. But
okay.
anyway, to you.
Whiteboard. Attribution for sticky notes. Participants in Teams and on the web can see who added sticky notes to the board. I don't know how I feel about that.
You
I
can turn
would
it off.
Can we turn it off?
Yes.
You've got your question face on.
I'm pretty sure you can turn it off.
You had your question face on.
Yeah,
You
I
can turn
think
it
it's
off.
yeah, I
Question.
think it's something up in the corner in your settings. The
Yeah.
person who's running the whiteboard can turn attributions on and off.
Slick, because sometimes I would like it to be anonymous
Yes.
so people can write down what they really think.
Yeah. Let me remove the question face. You can turn that on and off. I can't pull that off.
No, you can't. I want to play poker with you.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna lose my butt on that one.
Also, Microsoft Teams disable or enable all attendee video for DoD, and also disable or enable a single attendee's video for DoD. Nobody uses video in the DoD. Now, I think that when this will be helpful is there are some people who join meetings who don't realize that they have turned on their video or that they have turned on their audio. And so, like, if you're doing a town hall in a Teams meeting, you really just want the admiral or the general or the person who is delivering that to be on camera. So I can see where it'll be a good fit there.
Sense.
Also, view attendance reports in Microsoft Teams for Android and iOS for government cloud. So this is coming out to GCC, GCC High, and DoD. Now you can check the attendance information for regular meetings or webinars, and also the registration information before webinars on the Microsoft Teams for Android or iOS. So that's great.
I don't have anything else in launched.
All right, then we only have one thing in canceled, and that is support for breakout rooms for Microsoft Teams on Android. This
Oh, I
item
was
is
going to say,
being
no, we've got that
canceled.
right now, don't we?
Yes,
But
sorry.
not on
I put the
Android.
pause in the wrong
Yeah.
place. I was breathing. This item is being canceled and will be republished when more information is available. It is the ability to consume breakout room features in a Teams meeting. So far, we can't do that in an Android phone or tablet. So, and that wasn't due out until June 2023 anyway, so it's not like anyone was biting their nails waiting for it.
Well, they could have been, but they should stop it.
All right. Well, we should let you know Tom and I are going to be gone for the next 3 weeks. We're going on our honeymoon cruise.
Woo-hoo.
So we'll be gone. So hopefully Jennifer and Adam will be able to do these presentations and look forward to the next one. Tom, anything?
Let me try something here. We will miss you all tremendously.
That was not a question face.
Yes, we will
miss you.
but we won't be thinking a whole lot about you, unfortunately.
Probably not. Maybe a little bit on Tuesdays.
There you go, Tuesday. Wouldn't we be doing such and such? Yeah, sometimes though, and yeah, somewhere there.
Let's have mimosas. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We hope you have a fabulous day. Bye now.
Bye, all.